Hey guys, Lieutenant Colonel Baker here. Now we're starting in our lesson 2 series in personal growth and behaviors. And you can see up there, it's becoming a better communicator, which is something that we all need to learn how to do. It's a skill that if you're a great communicator, it's going to take you very far in the business world or anything that you do, to include relationships with your mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, or sister. Okay? As always, we always know that we have to have an essential question and we have to answer it at the end. So why is effective communication necessary in all areas of life? It's a good question. You can't do anything without communication, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. Okay, that's why it's necessary. I mean, how do you communicate with somebody, or how do you get your point across to somebody without that communication process? So, all right, so think about what you know about the communication process already, because everybody has preconceived notions of what the communication process really is. Okay? So here's a good question. Are good leaders effective communicators? Hopefully everybody answered yes, they are, because you cannot be a effective leader or a good leader unless you can communicate properly and effectively with your subordinates or your coworkers or your people that work under you. Okay? That is a foundational tool that you need in your kit bag. Okay? So here's our learning objectives. I'll just let you read that. But one of the things down here is, and you'll see a lot of the definitions of these key words show up on some of my quiz questions. You guys all know that I always have a 5-test quiz for each subject that I give. A lot of times people have been going into the quiz and taking the quiz before they actually go through the whole slide deck, and then they end up not doing so well. But if you look up the definitions for these key words here in the vocabulary, I can guarantee you it's going to help you out, okay, on that quiz. All right, so let's think about the important elements of the communication process. Okay, you'll see that this gentleman here is speaking, and it's going into this gentleman's ear. So this guy is the listener. This guy is the speaker, okay? And we'll go through a whole thing about the process of listening, because I've told you before, that's a skill that you need to hone, okay? A lot of people aren't effective listeners until they're taught some of the things that you need to do to become one. Okay, so if you read the communication process section in your test, now I've put it in the Google Classroom under the class drive folder, and I will show you where that's at. Okay, so now you need to fill out the exercise 2, and I'll go over where it is on the, and you'll see it here, right? Exercise 2, group roles and examples. Okay. I didn't show up worth a darn. But that's where it's located. That's another thing that needs to be uploaded into the cadet portal. So in groups, John usually plays a task role. Which of the following behaviors does he display? Task. Okay, remember? That's right. He's the initiator, energizer, and planner. So he's definitely plays an important role in the group. Oops. All right, so think about how communication affects a group. Okay, you saw all those roles, and then you have the dysfunctional roles. Okay. We're not going to, you guys are not going to be able to do that because you're doing it online. Okay. All right, so you need to complete the performance assessment task. That, of course, is right here. Performance assessment task, okay? You need to answer as many of the questions that you can and put it down in the comments section, okay? And then that needs to be uploaded to the SMART portal. let's get back to, okay. All right, so what is the definition of the word barrier? An obstruction, anything that blocks, restrains, or separates. Think of a barrier on a road, right? If the road's closed, they put it up there so it blocks you from going to through that road that's closed. Okay, it's easy to remember that one. But you also have barriers in a group meeting or communication. Choose the term that best completes the sentence below. The spoken word or visual image that is used in transmitting information is known as the channel. The return of or response to information, as in the evaluation of a communication, the return of evaluative or corrective information to the sender or point of origin is known as feedback. Now, all of this stuff is in your text. Okay, that's why you need to read it. Okay. What is the definition of the word hearing? That one's easy, right? To perceive by the ear, to listen attentively. What is the definition of the word listening? You guys probably thought it was B, didn't you? It's making an effort to understand something or paying attention. If you are unclear to the receiver about what you are saying, either verbally or non-verbally, you may be sending mixed messages that they don't understand what's going on. Okay? What are you saying? Blank is interference that keeps a message from being understood. That's right, that's that noise. Okay? The TV that's on in the background while somebody's trying to talk to me. When you do not use words to communicate and you are being, that's right, nonverbal. You gesticulate with your hands, you nod with your head, things like that. A blank is one or more individuals for whom a message is intended. That's right, receiver. When you use words to communicate, you are being the opposite of nonverbal. You're being verbal. Okay? So, why is it effective? Why is effective communication necessary in all areas of life? I think you guys got the gist of it. Okay, everybody communicates every day. Okay? They cannot go throughout a day without communicating either verbal and nonverbal. All right, that concludes the lesson. Thank you very much.